Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino here in Tampa, Florida, playing home to Cage Fury Fighting Championships once again. Prelims getting underway here on YouTube, Facebook, all the great places. CFFC 106, John Morgan, UFC middleweight Andre Petrosky with you. We got a great night. We'll be on Fight Pass later. Let's get the prelims started. There he is, Andre. That is Riley Palmer, the up-and-coming prospect. This is our lone amateur bout of the evening, the NextGen division, but the NextGen bantamweight title is on the line, and Riley Palmer with Eddie Torres behind him, a guy that's been making some waves early on in his career, just been fighting for about a year at this point, but a lot of people seem to have high hopes for him and what he can do moving forward. Yeah,
absolutely. Riley's a decorated wrestler, and coming from a good camp with Eddie Torres at Taino, coming together with the striking, it'd be a good fight.
No question about it. Kind of a wrestling base, as you said there, but adding it all together. 3 wins thus far, all 3 in the CFFC cage. All 3 have come by decision. It's tougher sometimes to get those finishes in the lower ranks, right, when you were doing 2-minute rounds. Now we'll be doing 3-minute rounds. So yeah. I think sometimes you can't hold a lack of finishes against people in that NextGen division because they're not getting a whole lot of time to work with.
Yeah, especially with the amateur rule set, it's definitely not the easiest way to get finishes. But Riley, 100% finish rate here at 3-0.
Confident young man, undefeated in his career, looking to gain that NextGen bantamweight title. But he's got a local man that wants to spoil it tonight. Well, listen, I said he's the local man. He's getting some boos. Team Riley Palmer traveled a little bit tonight. This is Argenis Castro hailing from right here in Tampa, but if he thought it was going to be a friendly crowd, you better think again, because Team Riley Palmer travels. He does come to us, Argenis Castro, with a 2-1 record thus far in his career. 27 years old, fighting for the first time in the CFFC cage. He did fight most recently in February, so you're talking about only a month ago. Picked up a 38-second knockout victory, so still had plenty of energy in the tank. Decided, hey, the CFFC cage is coming back to Tampa. Let me get on this big stage. And like I said, trying to play spoiler, right? I mean, Riley Palmer, anybody that's in CFFC has seen, this is a kid that looks like he's destined for big things. But Argenis Castro comes in here, hey, no expectations, you don't know me, but I'm going to come introduce you to me tonight. You do see the shin guards in place there. That's a big change in the CFFC. Wow. Look at that. Riley Palmer squad traveled, man. Unbelievable. All right. Let's take a quick look at the tail of the tape again. This will be our lone NextGen bout of the night before we switch over to the professional ranks, but it is a title fight. That bantamweight title's on the line. Just 23 years old for Riley Palmer. You see, Argenis just a little bit taller. That perfect record for Riley Palmer. Let's take it to our man for the first time tonight, Dr. David Sarnoff.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight, this bout is scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds in the NextGen Bantamweight Championship. This bout is sponsored by Angry Elephant Tattoos. Now, standing to my right, fighting out of the blue corner, weighing in at 135.2 pounds, fighting for Marquez MMA and Team Taino out of Richboro, Pennsylvania, with an undefeated record of 3 wins and no losses, Riley Palmer. Now, standing across the cage, fighting out of the red corner, weighing in at 135.6 pounds, fighting for Death War out of Tampa, Florida, with a record of 2 wins and 1 loss, Argenis Castro. A referee in charge of the action once the bell rings, Andrew Glenn.
Yeah, I don't think Argenis is too happy getting booed in his own hometown.
He's like, this is going to be great, man. I'm going to go in there. They're going to love me. I'm a Tampa guy. I'm going to come in there and just make everybody happy. But no.
Man, I don't think I've ever seen that, to be honest.
That's funny. That goes to show you the passion behind Team Riley Palmer, although he did get tagged as he ducked in. But you see him turn to that wrestling right away. Didn't even bother to set up, just shooting from range, but gets it to the floor.
Immediately takes him down to half guard.
Excellent work there from Palmer. We said he's a wrestling specialist. Yes, he's rounding it out, adding it all together, but that is definitely his bread and butter. And he relied on it early, has the early takedown here. The red and white trunks on top.
Yeah, Riley wrestled at Council Rock South in high school. Very decorated program. Trap McCormick, Sullen Perry, some great coaches coming out of there.
And I like it because he's looking to advance positions. You know, not just sitting for the takedown and settling on top. You know, he's trying to step over the arm there. You see he's throwing some punches. I mean, he's working from top position. That's what we normally see out of Riley Palmer.
Absolutely.
Argenis Castro trying to sit back up against the fence, but Riley doing a good job of dragging him away.
Yeah, Riley's doing a good job of taking that post away.
Just a minor little detail that makes it so tough. Now you look at a little shoulder pressure on that, steps up, firing in those punches again, trying to step over the arm. Just aggressive top game here from Riley Palmer. Big punches there from top position. Again, we'll see how the pace handles. He's been fighting 2-minute rounds up to this point. This is 3-minute rounds, and it may seem only like, oh, it's only 1 extra minute, but remember, it's an extra 50% of what you were fighting. So,
wow, some strong ground and pound from Riley.
So right now, he's not holding back.
I like the 3-minute rounds much better too. I think the whole point of amateur fighting is to get you ready for a pro career, and you know, 2 minutes isn't even a taste of what a pro round looks like.
Especially, I think, on the ground as well, because you're really not getting a chance to set anything up. It's just almost over before you start. Right now, this round has been all Palmer. Undefeated prospect on top. 1 minute remaining here in the opening round. Again, this will be the longest round Riley Palmer's competed in. But certainly more of the same that we've seen throughout his career.
There he goes, takes away that post again. Every time Argenis has to post up to get to start building a base. Right, he's got to post on that arm, come up to an elbow. And every time he goes to post, Riley pulls that post away.
Just making it impossible to get up off his back. Palmer dominant right now. 30 seconds remaining here in round number 1. In our lone NextGen bout of the night. Title is on the line. So far, it has been all Riley Palmer. Jen's trying to get up, and now he's got the hand trapped around the back.
Yeah, Riley's got that handcuff from the back with that wrist control. A lot of those Dagestani wrestlers are real good at tying up that far wrist.
Just making it difficult. Final seconds, tick off the clock there. Nice work from Riley Palmer. No question who was in control of that round. And Eddie Torres has got to be happy about what he sees as his man steps back in there. Meanwhile, Argenis Castro maybe shocked at the boos early on and maybe shocked at some of these takedowns. Let's take a look at some of the action from that opening round, which again was clearly in favor of Riley Palmer.
Yeah, Riley's showing why he's 3-0 tonight.
Yeah, Andre, walk us through what you saw here. Just great work from
Body lock. He had the arm trap. He's got arm trap body lock there. Improves the half control. Just some good ground and pound here.
It was about 3 minutes worth of that. Clear round for Riley Palmer.
Stayed in good position. Continued to break down his base. Very good round for Riley.
Taking a look at both corners, looks like both fine on energy levels. Whether it be nerves, whether it be that extra minute, didn't seem to impact either one of them.
Yeah, well, it'd be interesting to see if Riley opens up a little bit more on the feet now that he's got a round under his belt. I mean, clearly ahead after the first round. See if he can, see if he wants to stand up a little bit and trade.
Yeah, it might not be a bad idea, right? You know you can go to that takedown if you need it.
Right. He can always get that takedown. It came pretty easily. Oh, nice hook. Left hook from Riley connects.
Good in the left hand there. Castro almost kind of found himself taken down by just pressing in too far, but as you said,
nice.
He did want to strike a little bit as he's now deep on the single. Has to let it go to switch.
Comes up to the body lock.
Castro doing a good job of staying upright briefly, but Palmer was just chaining the rest of them together and has it back down on the ground.
Yeah, almost exactly the same takedown as the first round. It came up from the double into the body lock and then stepped behind the trip.
And you hear the crowd chanting his name. You know, it's funny, when we're fighting up in Philadelphia, fighting up in New Jersey, he's got an amazing crowd. I didn't expect to see him down here in Tampa, Florida, but they made the trip.
Yeah, you can tell a lot of people believe in this kid. You know, they see something special. Obviously, he's undefeated for a reason. CFFC obviously likes him. You know, he's been 3 finishes. You can't ask for much more. See if he can get a finish here.
Dominating on top. Once again, that right leg is just trapped behind. We'll see if he tries to slip down to bounce. Sometimes it can be tougher with those shin guards to get the legs clear, but I mean, he's in a dominant spot even with his opponent half.
Look how he's fishing that right arm behind his back, looking to catch that wrist. As Castro comes to post up.
Now on the back, Castro did finally get to his knees, but Palmer's happy to take the back. There's a hook sinking in, and now Castro is going to have to try to turn again. He doesn't. Palmer's looking for that squeeze. Castro did turn inside there, alert, but now he's going to switch to the guillotine.
Riley shakes his head now. I don't think he wants to commit to that guillotine.
Stay with the control. To be honest, I like that. I think some people give up position so quickly, it's settled him back down.
Yeah, stay on top, stay in a good position. If you don't get the guillotine and you go to your back, now you're in a bad position.
I mean, that just shows the awareness, right? 1 minute left here. I said he's going for the guillotine. He looked over and said, no, I'm not. I'm going to settle him back down on top, and that's exactly what he did.
It's good coaching, too. You know, I'm sure Eddie, is telling him to stay on top, stay in good position.
I agree. If you know you have it, great. But as you know, it can be a little bit risky sometimes.
Yeah.
Booze raining down a little bit here. 30 seconds remaining here in round number 2. It's a round that once again has been dominated by Riley Palmer. The wrestling and the offense from
So
the
look
top
how he
position.
windshield wipers that left leg over, that instep of his foot. He's going to be looking to pass using that.
Landing punches as well. Final seconds here ticking off once again. Round number 2, again, a clear round for Riley Palmer, who continues to impress us every time he's in there.
Another very dominant.
Helps up his opponent, Argenis Castro, casually walks back to the corner there. Says, what'd you think, Eddie? How'd I do? Can't imagine there'll be much criticism.
That's quite dominant.
Take a look over there in the corner of Castro. They've got to make some adjustments. Can't allow that to happen again, but we'll take a look at some of this action. Walk us through it, Andre.
Castro throws that right hand. Nice exchange here.
There's that same takedown again, as you said. And this is the moment where he decided not to go to the guillotine.
You can see him shaking his head.
Had it controlled, didn't want to go to his back, instead wrenched him over and stayed on top. Excellent awareness.
Yeah, if I'm in Castro's corner here, I'm saying he's got to punch and get away. Punch, hit, get out. You don't want to land and then still be standing in the same spot where you threw from. And, that's where Riley's going to shoot from. If he can land and move, then he's not in the same spot for Riley when he goes for that takedown.
That's right, but you stay there and Riley Palmer's going to be on your legs, no question about it. See if Riley wants to strike a little bit maybe here to start round 3. Oh, there was
nice
a
little uppercut. It's a nice uppercut. Ooh, Riley comes back with his own.
Smart work into the body and the head up top. There's a big overhand right there as well. Looks like maybe he does want to strike a little bit, switching stances. You can see, Castro wants to be aggressive with the strikes, but he's having to hesitate because he knows if he commits.
Yeah, he's going to get, Riley's going to shoot in.
That's it.
Nice same side kick off the cross.
Palmer wraps the body there. See if he'll look for the same trip down.
Body lock to the trip. Castro fights this one off.
You see Palmer right back on the legs again, looking for this takedown. Locks the hands there in between, trying to lift him.
Beautiful.
Big slam to the canvas there. An exclamation point on that takedown. Side control as well. See what he can do here from side control. Really try to step over. And if you're Castro right now, it's got to be a frustrating experience because you've been here the entire fight.
Yeah, this is a great position for O'Reilly to be in. All he needs to do right now is posture up and strike. Castro gets the underhook on that far side. That's a good start to getting back to your feet. Half
guard there, as you said. It's a little tough on side control because you don't have the elbows and the ground and pound to the head, so I guess that makes it a little difficult, takes away some of your options, but still a dominant position nonetheless. And it's just been all Riley Palmer from start to finish. You said a lot of people have high expectations for this kid, and I think you can see why. Castro able to work to full guard right now, but under a minute remaining here in a fight that he hasn't won much of, and you can see Palmer posturing.
Still working, you know, not 9 minutes. I know it's not a full pro fight, but he's still pushing through. Cardio looks good. He's still the more active fighter.
Doing all the little things you need to build on, learning the valuable lessons, getting the cage time in, as you said, not quite a full pro round, but more of it, you know, 9 minutes instead of 6.
Oh, he had that handcuff again behind the back, collecting the wrist.
Just really doesn't give you any time to relax. Every time you said, as Castro would try to post, Palmer would just pull it away. There it is again.
So, yeah.
Every single time. He's so aware of it. It's just like, I'm not going to let you start building up at all.
Yeah, and then he's got to start back from square one.
And that's it.
Yeah, it's a beautiful fight.
Not
the finish, but
a dominant performance here. I don't think not much drama in the decision that's forthcoming here. I mean, that was clearly Riley Palmer from start to finish, and you know, he's going to walk away with this NextGen belt, no question about it. And then I guess the question is, do you want a few more bouts? Do you want to try to defend it once or twice and get a little bit more experience with these 3-minute rounds, or do you feel ready to make that pro jump now?
You know, I think it's good. As much as obviously you want finishes, that's what the UFC wants to see. They want to see finishes. Getting that experience of being able to go 9 minutes, that goes a long way. You know, for your own, you know that, look, I can fight for 9 minutes. I can fight 3 rounds. It's good experience. You got time in the cage, and that goes a long way as well.
See a very frustrated Argentis Castro there. Was not his night. Meanwhile, a happy Riley Palmer. Props to Argentis for stepping in here and taking on. Listen, it's not easy to get fights for Riley Palmer, and you can see why. I mean, this guy is a highly touted prospect. Seems every bit the part of future contender.
Yeah. So especially now, now he's got the belt, he's got the title, undefeated, 4-0. Maybe it is time to go pro. You know, maybe it's time to start thinking about that.
He scales the cage there and enjoys the moment, tosses the jersey out there.
Donates the jersey to the crowd.
I can't imagine what's taking so long. Do we have the scorecards in? I mean, it can't. It's 3 10s against 3 9s. It shouldn't take that long.
Yeah, that was pretty cut and dry to me.
I mean, I can just announce it for you guys if you want. What are we waiting on? Waiting on the scorecards, I believe. All right, there we go. Now I see my man walking to the cage. Scorekeepers are
taking his good old time, huh?
They do it to my man. I mean, come on, we know what happened here. All right, no drama in it, but we do have to make it all official, and we'll want to wrap a belt around this man's waist. So let's take it to our man, Dr. David Sarnoff, to make it all official.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecard. All 3 judges have the fight 30-27 for your winner by unanimous decision, the new NextGen Bantamweight Champion of the World, Riley Palmer.
Big win there for Riley Palmer. Might not be the only belt that man ever has over his shoulder or hoists in the air. He is your new NextGen Bantamweight champion. Remains undefeated in his career. Has got some decisions to make. Does he want a little more experience? Does he want to go pro? We'll see. That man's got a heck of a corner with him there, and a lot of confidence, all the confidence in the world, as he should, with a performance like that. As you take a look at some of that action, Andre. I mean, what? These takedowns.
All 3 rounds from all the takedowns.
right, it looks like we're back. Tampa, Florida, Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. I told you it wouldn't take long. Hopefully you joined us for our first amateur bout of the evening where Riley Palmer claimed the vacant bantamweight title, but now we get straight to the professional ranks. 4 more fights coming to you here before we go live on UFC Fight Pass at 9 p.m. Eastern for the main card. This is Jorge Molina that you see making his way to the cage now. Fighting out of Fight Sports Deerfield Beach, making his pro debut, just 25 years old. Kind of had some mixed results in the amateur ranks, but finished on a win streak. And is now ready to make his professional debut as well as his CFFC debut. So we're seeing him here, Florida man Jorge Molina in the CFFC cage for the first time. See Jay-Z Cavalcante there. Not a bad MMA legend to have in your corner. Getting some solid advice there. Let's see what Jorge Molina can do in his debut here at CFFC and his debut in the professional ranks as well. He'll have a familiar name on the other side of the cage. This is Jorge Molina. Looking calm, confident. Again, 4 fights here on the Facebook and YouTube stream, and then over UFC Fight Pass at 9 p.m. Eastern. Another familiar face to CFFC fans, but he's making his pro debut tonight. Itzo Babulaitse, 28 years old. 3-2 record in CFFC's NextGen division where he competed for his entire amateur career. So 5 fights and now ready to go pro. We saw him last time right here in Florida at CFFC 100 where he picked up a decision win over Lucas LaRue in his final amateur bout. He opened his amateur run with 2 straight wins, had a couple back-to-back losses, rebounded for a victory, and now Itzo Babulaitse, Eddie Torres in his corner, John Marquez. Just one of this, I mean, a killer roster, right? I mean, this gym just keeps getting bigger and bigger, Andre.
Yeah, so Itzo coming from Daniel and John, they're really, kid works really hard, obviously, and they really think, the coaches really think that the pro rules are better set for him. He had suffered some defeats as an amateur, but they're really excited for him to go pro. He hits like a truck. He hits really hard. He's got good cardio, so they're excited for him.
As we said, we've seen him battle through some adversity during his NextGen career, and now he's making his professional debut. We'll take a look at the tail of the tape for our first professional contest of the night. We'll see the younger man, Jorge Molina, 25 years old. Babulaitse just a little bit taller. Was just over a little bit. Obviously did have to travel down here. We carry on anyway. Both these guys making their pro debut. Let's get the introductions underway. Let's take it up to our man, Dr. David Sarnoff.
Tonight, this bout of the evening is scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds in the CFFC Welterweight division. This bout is brought to us by Few Will Hunt. Now, standing to my right, fighting out of the blue corner, weighing in at 170.8 pounds, fighting for Fight Sports Deerfield Beach out of Coral Springs, Florida, making his pro debut, Jorge Demolition Molina. Now, standing across the cage, fighting out of the red corner, weighing in at 171.4 pounds, fighting for Marquez MMA, out of the country of Georgia, also making his pro debut, Itzo Babulaitse. Referee in charge of the action once the bell rings, Larry Folsom.
Larry Folsom, the third man in the cage.
Wow, Itzo looks big for 170. That's a big welterweight right there.
No question about it. Molina in the black, Babulaitse in the white. Both fighting the professional ranks for the first time. Let's see if they pace themselves a little bit for these
comes out swinging.
Longer rounds. They fire right away. Outside leg kick there. So his growth through the NextGen ranks 5 times here in the CFFC's NextGen division. Now we see him without the shin guards for the first time. 5-minute rounds. Look pretty relaxed at the moment. Content to trade for the time being. He caught that kick but wasn't able to do anything with it.
Molina looks calm in there.
Yeah, it really does for 2 guys that are making their debut. Oh, you know.
Molina looks calm. He's patient, moving forward. Ito lands a right hand there.
Yeah, that one got through. Molina backed him up to the fence, but he's punching his way out.
Now they're starting to throw some hands.
Letting it go. Right hand score there. Pace picking up now. Oh, the 2-punch
lands a nice one, too.
Immediately, Molina shoots in after catching that 2-punch combination, but Featherweight able to hold him upright for the time being and circle off the cage to the outside position. Momentum clearly seized there from Featherweight.
Yeah, you hear Eddie from the corner of Ito yelling about head position, head under head.
Molina kind of grabbing those underhooks right now, and Eddie Torres said again, yeah, address those underhooks.
Circle him back to the cage.
That allowed Molina to switch off. Clinch battle in here. Nice little elbow landed there for Molina as he backed away. Probably a good spot for him to be here. Backed out to the center. Again, looks very relaxed on the feet. It was Featherweight who landed the best shots when they were exchanging. Halfway through the opening round. Molina, as he said, very relaxed, keeping the chin tucked. And Featherweight shoots from range. Drives the action to the cage there. Dig that underhook there.
Looks like he got the hands locked.
There you go. As soon as he got it locked. Now trying to peel it away as well. Controlling the legs.
Nice. Circles him off the cage. He's in half guard now. Ooh, grab the fence from Molina.
No, I mean, it's there. You might as well try it.
So you see, Ito's got the right hand behind the back. He's going to look to collect that far wrist. And that's the post hand for Molina. See, collects it. And with Ito's right arm, he's going to collect that wrist. Now with his left arm, he can strike.
Nice work there, and you can see Featherweight looking to his corner. They were asking him to step over that right leg. He didn't quite get that done.
Yeah.
That allowed Molina to settle back to guard. Still not a great position for him, but better than he was. 1 minute remaining.
Yeah, you see Ito fighting for this head position here. He's digging his forehead into that chin. Staying in good position, giving Molina something to think about. You know, as long as he's got that head getting dug into his chin, he's not thinking about improving the position.
Scrambling here, you see Featherweight trying to control the neck here. Elbow a little high, but he's still holding it for now. Knee inside. Another one inside there. Molina works to get his head free. He doesn't take any more of those. Another warning for grabbing the cage.
Nice elbow.
Oh, big right hand from Molina though as well. Molina looking for the takedown here late. Final 10 seconds ticking off the clock here in round number 1. Late takedown there from Featherweight.
Beautiful. Definitely, you know, I'd give that round to Ito for sure, especially with the grappling, the ground and pound. Ito looks fresh. My concern was you know, he was taking some deep breaths there at the end, and Molina looks more calm, but Ito looks good.
Great opening round. It's a name that we're familiar with here in the NextGen division, fighting professional for the first time. Looks calm, collected. Showed us a lot of the same things he showed us during his NextGen run. And as you said, a pretty solid round overall. Take a look at some of the action from round number 1, which the big shots from Pavlidze there early.
There's a hook cross, 3-2.
One little elbow from Molina there, but there was a late takedown from Pavlidze. Had that leg right in there as well.
Nice elbow.
And then here was the takedown at the end of the round here to seal the things.
Second round action.
We get ready for round number 2. Andre, any adjustments for either of these fighters that you'd like to see made going into round 2?
I think Molina's got to press the action as far as the striking goes. I think he wants to stay away from some wrestling, and I think he wants to hit and move, stick and move.
Good advice there. We'll see if he heeds it. Pavlidze with a couple big punches to come up short. Molina, oh, nice left hook there.
You know, Molina could invest in some leg kicks. You know, go back to the body here. Stop. You know, don't be swinging for the head on every punch. Give him something else to think about.
Yeah, good call there. I mean, you can tell from his posture he wants to strike, and as you said from early on, he looks comfortable there.
Yeah.
But as you said, just not enough volume in that opening round to really slow Pavlidze down, as he does here, just shoots in for range.
Yeah, that was a nice entry from Itzo.
Molina doing a good job here so far of defending, but I think those hands are just about collapsed in between. In fact, it looks like they are. He's got the left arm around the neck. That kept him upright for now. Corner was calling for him to slip to the back. Molina turned inside to prevent that, but now the hands are wrapped once again, and that's going to be a takedown.
And you see how this is the second time he does that. As soon as he secures that takedown, he figure fours the legs. That's beautiful. That makes it extremely difficult for the bottom guy to start working back up, building the base. Even better, though, would be if he could slide that figure four above the knee. Right now, he's below the knee, down by the ankles. Yeah, like just like that.
Beautiful work.
I think he's listening to me.
Might as well. I think I'll get you to the UFC. Just listen to me.
Yeah. So same situation. Half guard here as.
Control the neck.
Finds his way back up.
Let it go and through the knee in. Nice work. Good scramble all the way around there. Pavlidze knew he didn't have. Now he's going to shoot again. I will say this: there seems to be a little bit less zip on that shot.
Yeah. Itzo's starting to fade a little bit.
Yeah, you could see it just in that entry right there. Not quite the zip on it. Still, you can grind in this position. Fighting these 5-minute rounds for the first time.
Yeah, especially from your pro debut. You've never gone 15 minutes. This is about finding a way to you're gonna get tired. These things are gonna happen. You're gonna have adrenaline dumps, but you gotta find a way to win.
Worth noting again, he did just miss weight. Now he's just over 171.4, but you do wonder, was there an issue there? But here's a takedown. As you said, you got to find a way to kind of grit through, right? And he does get the takedown halfway through the second round.
Yeah, and look, for what it's worth, he's far ahead on the scorecards here. He doesn't need to exert himself too much. So stay fundamental, stay solid here. Don't blow your load too much, but he looks good here. This is a good position for Itzo.
Yeah, we're nitpicking a little bit, right? I mean, he's doing the best he can in his pro debut, but It's just something that you can learn from, you can observe. Molina scrambles back up to his feet here. We'll see if Pavlidze can make an adjustment. We haven't seen Molina doing much offensive grappling.
Yeah, Molina gets in on his own shot.
Could this be a turning point for Molina? We thought maybe he'd want to strike. Perhaps it'll be the takedown that turns things in his direction. We'll see. Pavlidze, that wide sprawl against the cage right now, trying to prevent that.
Yeah, I think this is good. I think Itzo's getting a little chance to recover here.
Oh, I don't know if that was a little bit of a sacrifice throw, but that didn't work. I think he was trying to roll as he fell back and didn't get it done. That was great for Pavlidze, who's now going to settle on top and drive in some elbows.
Yeah, I think Molina would have been better off breaking off and landing some strikes on the break.
I agree. That was a high-risk maneuver. It did not pay off, and now Pavlidze happy.
Half guard. He's looking for this post elbow. Landed it twice already.
Wasn't able to throw those elbows in the NextGen division, so I'm sure he's enjoying driving them down into the head of Molina here as he's on top. into the final minute here of round number 2.
This is a great position for Itzo to be in, especially, you know, he's recovering here. He's not working too hard. He's basically laying on top of him from half guard, landing some ground and pound, not incredibly working hard.
Yeah, a bit of an active rest position, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you can gain back some steam here as he's driving the shoulder into the chin there. You know, you're able to kind of rest a little bit and not be in any trouble. Complete control right now.
Itzo's corner wants him to remain active. Same 20 seconds, elbows, big elbows.
Did throw one there that landed in. Gonna try to posture up, do a little bit more damage. Final 10 seconds ticking off the clock here. Maybe a few more strikes from Babalaidze, who is certainly having a bit of a gut check of a round, but finished in a dominant position. Molina took a risk. It did not pay off, and I think now, whereas maybe he could have seized momentum, he's clearly down 2 rounds to none. He's going to have to make something happen here in round number 3. CJZ Cavalcantes controlling the breathing here. Take a breath there. Molina's going to need something special in these final 5 minutes.
What's our tough man's name?
Take a look here at some of that
Is that
action.
Stitches? Is his name Stitches? Stitch?
That's another one. Here's a second takedown. Controlling, as you see. And there was Babalaidze finishing up on top with the strikes, the big elbows and punches. Here we go for round number 3 here of this welterweight matchup. A fight that is clearly 2 rounds to none for Babalaidze right now. Molina got to get something done here, and I think probably get it done on the feet. I know he was.
Sorry about that. That man's name is Joey I. Around. Sorry, Joey.
Babalaidze with the quick takedown attempt here. And works the hands together now.
Again.
Clasping behind the legs, and there's the quick takedown.
Figure fours the legs again.
And this time he's right in his corner as well. John Marquez, Eddie Torres shouting out instructions.
Strong start to this round for Itzo. Already up 2-0.
As you said, that figure 4 around the legs makes it so difficult. Being able to get those free, work back to half guard. Still a lot of work to do right now.
Yeah, I'd like to see Itzo work from here, you know, improve the position. Whether he wants to go to side control or mount or take the back. You know, I don't think he's going to get him, Molina, out of here with ground and pound from half guard. At least it doesn't seem so. So, like, you know, let's start chasing some submissions, improving position here.
Absolutely. Keep looking for the finish until the end. Keep pushing. You never know what happened if you're, you know, still trying to be offensive.
That's what the, you know, Eagle FC, UFC, that's what they want to see. They want to see finishes.
No question about it. Got to push till the very end. Decisions are good. I mean, cage time is good, especially early in your career, to get confident, to understand what it feels like. But at the end of the day, yes, they want to see those finishes. That's what stands out to the matchmakers, as you being ready for the next
level. And the ref
level.
stands him up. Interesting choice.
Wow.
I don't know if I agree with that necessarily, but it makes it a little more interesting for us.
Larry Folsom looking for some action. He's like, I've seen this position.
Yeah.
Let's do it again.
Yeah. But, I mean, in Itzo's defense, he was working there. That's on the bottom man to work up. I don't necessarily agree with that call.
I thought it was a little bit early as well. Babalaidze right back into the exact same position. So Molina was given a reprieve there, was able to do absolutely nothing with it. He's looking up again at the referee saying, maybe again? Help me up again? Help me up. I'm stuck here again, my man.
You deserve a third chance.
Halfway through round number 3, Babalaidze on top, in control, in his corner. You can see right there.
Yeah, his corner, John Marquez, employing to throw that elbow, slicing elbow.
I love it. He's got the visual demonstration as well. He's like, maybe you didn't know exactly which elbow I was talking about. Let me show you. It's this one right here.
You know, Itzo's from the country of Georgia. one of that crop of fighters coming through Daniel Gracie's and John Marquez's gym from Kyrgyzstan in Georgia. You know, his teammate Zurich is also on the card tonight. And, you know, their English isn't the best, so the visual representation helps.
It helps there.
But, man, these guys work hard. They're tough guys.
You can see that beautiful camera angle there. You can see Eddie Torres, John Marquez right there giving instructions. I mean, you
There's
couldn't
that
ask
post
to be
elbow.
in a
Post
better
on the
place.
face, come back with the elbow.
You gotta get your head up.
Beautiful work. Not a lot of room to work with there, but he's trying to make it happen. Oh, there's a big one. A few more of those might get it done.
120 each up. Big, big, big.
Minute 20 remaining here. I think the pace that, you know, has kind of weared on Babalese a little bit, but now he's posting up. Let's see if he can push and finish this thing.
Yeah, he's in full mount.
Full mount and looking to rain down these big elbows.
You know, sometimes you don't need the hardest shots from here. If you can just, you know, put a barrage of punches together, that ref's getting close. You know, he's looking for a reason to stop it.
Yeah, he's seen the man on the bottom for 14 minutes now at this point. If you're landing some big elbows like this, you might be able to get that late finish. At this point, we've kind of seen Molina isn't going to be able to get out of this position, most likely.
Yeah, Ito needs the posture up here.
See Molina trying to press up and bridge, trapping that right leg. Was able to recover to half guard. 30 seconds left. Babalese still with a chance to maybe get something done here. I know it's been a tiring battle for him as well. He's trying. You hear the corner saying, let it go. You got 20 seconds. He's trying to. Final seconds ticking off the clock here. Unfortunately, I think he's going to run out of time, and he'll have to just be satisfied with a very dominant decision victory here. Controlling with the takedowns and just doing a good job of keeping Molina stuck on his back. I thought Molina showed a little bit of life in the second, but when it went into that kind of sacrifice throw and it backfired, that was kind of all she wrote.
Yeah, Coach John Marquez has to be happy tonight. Him and Eddie 2-0 from their two dominant performances.
Walk us through some of the action here, Andre, so what we saw here late.
Yeah, Ito was very effective at getting those hands locked together behind the butt. Very dominant ground and pound from Ito. Stayed in good position, worked, continued to improve.
Yeah, you see he's getting the right eye addressed. There was some damage under his right eye as well, so didn't get away scot-free. But as you said, great work. You know, you get the feel of the 5-minute rounds under your belt. You see Jorge Molina there is going to be a little bit frustrated. I mean, that was kind of an agonizing performance from him. He's stuck underneath the whole time. But
It's not exactly how you want to do it.
well, you learn some lessons there. All right, I think we know who's walking away with this win, but just to make it official, let's take it to our man, Dr. David Sarno.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecard. All 3 judges, Olney, O'Connor, Win Kapal, have the fight 30-27. Out of the red corner, Itzo Babalese.
Not a lot of drama in the result, but as you say, look, good building blocks, right? Because, I mean, you know, I wonder if he'd have been a little bit busier at the end with those elbows, he might have gotten one of those late finishes.
Yeah, like I said, it's good experience, especially for a pro debut, to be able to know that you can go 15 minutes, get that time in the cage, get that experience. When I talked to Sean Brady, he had a bunch of finishes early in his career, and he said one thing that he said was that he had 3 fights in a row go the distance, and he said that was like the best thing that ever happened to him for his confidence in his career. He knew that he could go that distance and still get victories and find a way.
Big win there. Like you said, sure would like to finish, but you get the win. All right, let's keep things going here. Next fight is in the featherweight division. New York's Tom Piciano making his pro debut when he faces Pennsylvania's Vinny Orestlo.
Grappling, a lot of wins via grappling, via wrestling.
Take a look at his opponent here shortly, making his way to the cage as well. So we carry on here. CFFC 106, main card, 9 p.m. Eastern on UFC Fight Pass. So make sure you're logged in, you're signed in. Tom Piciano, Pooches for the Children, 23 years old, made his amateur debut back in 2016. So he's been around the game since he was a teenager, fighting in the CFFC cage for the first time. He fought most recently back in March of last year, so it's been about a year, but he scored a second-round knockout on the Florida regional scene, wrapped up his amateur career with a 6-1 record, including 4 wins by knockout. He had 5 wins in a row to close out his amateur career, and now he fights as a professional for the first time, fighting out of Long Island MMA.
Looks like Tom brought some fans out with him this weekend.
I like it. Travel well early in your career as they see you make the pro debut. Last second checks there underway. No lack of confidence there as he steps into the CFFC cage. Let's take a look at the tail of the tape for this featherweight bout. Two fighters young in their career. Just 23 years old, as we mentioned, for Piciano. You see the taller man, Orestlo. Piciano fighting for the first time as a professional. Let's take it to our man, Dr. David Sarnoff, to get the official introductions.
Tonight, this bout is scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds in the CFFC Featherweight division. This bout has been brought to us by Terp Boys. Now, standing to my right, fighting out of the blue corner, weighing in at 146 pounds, fighting for Royal Striking and HOA out of Parkside, Pennsylvania, with a professional record of 1-1, Vinny Orestlo. Now, standing across the cage, fighting out of the red corner, weighing in at 144.2 pounds, fighting for Long Island MMA out of Islip, New York, making his pro debut, Tom Pooch Piciano. Referee in charge of the action once the bell rings, Andrew Glenn.
All right, Andrew Glenn, the third man in the cage there. Piciano in the orange and yellow there, Orestlo in the black.
Nice little stare down there. See a little bit of animosity.
Right?
Puts me on the edge of my seat a little bit.
Piciano out quickly.
Opposite stances here. Orestlo being southpaw.
Taller man as well. We'll see if he tries to keep range early, as we would imagine. Although when he's got that grappling to fall back on, leg kick straighted there. Definitely a lot more movement in front. Orestlo calm, collected on the outside, kind of studying right now.
Typically from this opposite stance, where Orestlo catches that, throws his kick with his own. Typically from this opposite stance, it's usually a fight for that outside foot. So Tom wants that left foot on the outside, and Orestlo wants his nice barrage of punches.
On the back already, trying to sink in the choke. He's a little bit off to the side. Can he get the squeeze from that angle?
Oh, man. I think Tom is hurt here, but Orestlo does not have a good angle on this choke.
No, not at all. Now he's going to have to readjust.
Oh, and Tom gets his own takedown.
Wow, big turn of events there. Piciano was in trouble for a moment, but now he's on top.
Yeah, I think Piciano got rocked there for a second.
High action there. Piciano now setting up on top, looking to drive down with the forearm. Orestlo trying to tie things up underneath, working the full guard.
Yeah, you never want to see that hands locked behind the back from bottom. I don't think that helps your position at all from Orestlo.
Yeah, I completely agree. At that point, it feels like you're just holding for a stand-up, which you never like to see. But he does get to a seated position, out to a kneeling position. He's trying to lock in this choke.
Locks in a Dars.
He's got the squeeze, turning it.
Wow.
Can he get the angle on the choke?
Oh, man, this does not. That looks tight.
He's trying to roll.
I'm sorry, that's an anaconda.
Can't quite get it. Turns around to the back.
That looked tight for a second.
Really did. Drags Orestlo down to a seated position. Orestlo remains incredibly calm, but
yeah, I'd like to see a little bit more urgency out of Orestlo.
Piciano still controlling here. Now listed in the air.
Another takedown
into the canvas.
It's interesting, Orestlo being the wrestler, getting taken down twice.
Yeah, you mentioned the wrestling pedigree there, but he's been forced to work from his back here. Now firing those up kicks. Piciano trying to strike from the top as well. Orestlo open guard here, working from his back. There you go, those closed hands again there, just kind of holding on. Just feels like you're holding on at that point, right?
You can't strike. You're not going to get any submission. Even if look, if the goal here is to break the posture of the top fighter, let's get a hand behind the head. Let's start pulling that head down, but not both hands behind the back locked.
Yeah, you almost saw it on cue there as he did use that left hand to pull down, but now Piciano striking away here. A minute and a half remaining in round number 1. There's been some back and forth scrambles, but
yeah, Piciano's in a good position here. You can see he's right there next to, talking to his corner. Piciano's corner.
Oh, big scramble
nice
there.
Scramble.
And now, listen, is he going to
Orestlo gets his own guillotine
choke in a heartbeat. The right arm is trapped there, trying to shake it off. Piciano looking to slam out of this if he can, and he does.
Man.
Stays on the guillotine, rolls to the top.
Beautiful.
What a sequence there for Orestlo, and now Piciano again.
Wow, good scramble.
Big punches here from the top.
Piciano might get the finish here.
He's pounding
Orestlo
away.
needs to keep fighting.
Clean.
Wow.
Orestlo needs to move. That's it.
Wow.
My goodness, what a wild swing of momentum back and forth.
That is an interesting celebration right there.
Pooches for the children.
You know what? You know what that dance is?
I do not. That's the pooch, I guess.
That's the pooch right there.
As he calls it. Boy, what a fun fight.
I don't know what happened there. I don't know if Orestlo just got exhausted or he got. I didn't see him get hit with anything.
I didn't either, but he reacted as if he did, right? I didn't see if something landed because he went from in control to very much not.
Yeah.
Take a look at him.
I don't know if he was just exhausted from chasing that submission.
Listen, it was a high-paced opening round, back and forth, and certain possible. Tee up some of the action from round number 1. An incredible back and forth. And here's some of these wild strikes early on.
Oh, wow.
Thought it was going to be over right here.
Orestlo was in a good position. I think he had him rocked there, but I think he just didn't secure that position on the back.
But he was rolling for the choke here. This was tight.
Honestly, I was expecting him to tap from that.
Big takedown there. Piciano got to enjoy top position. Here was kind of a scramble.
Here was
right
Orestlo's submission. Had a nice arm in guillotine here.
I thought he was going to get the finish there, to be honest.
Yeah, that was close. I didn't know, with him standing to his feet.
Both arms were trapped. Rolled to the top there.
And then I don't see where he gets hurt here.
Maybe those right hands, because he definitely laid back after that. I imagine that right hand did it, but he got to celebrate. What a big win. Tom Piciano, let's go out, take the Dr. David Starr to get the official time of the stoppage.
Ladies and gentlemen, Andrew Glenn stopped this fight at 4 minutes and 17 seconds in the first round. Winner by TKO due to excessive strikes. Out of the red corner, Tom Pooch Piciano!
I mean, Andre, that's about as fun of a one-round fight as you're ever going to see. I mean, that just the shifts in momentum back and forth, even at the very end.
That's a great pro debut for him. For Tom Piciano. Exciting first round. Overcame a little bit of adversity there. You know, that guillotine was tight. And definitely a lot to look forward to.
No question about it. Yeah, I mean, you can't imagine you're going to have a pro debut that chaotic, right? I mean, that was a little bit, right? You think you're going to win, then you think you're going to lose, then you think you're going to win, then you think you're going to lose, and then you win.
Like I said, he overcame some adversity, fought through. A lot of promise out of the kid.
I'm excited. Sign me up for his next fight.
23 years old.
As we take a look here at the end here again. It was right before that. I guess some of those right hands really hurt him because, as you said, he kind of just, Orestlo just kind of covered up at that point, right?
Yeah, I couldn't really see where he landed.
Yeah, I'm not sure if those right hands hit, or as you said too, look, fatigue wouldn't shock me either, man.
Yeah.
That was a high-paced opening round, and
yeah,
boy,
a lot of action, a lot of scrambles.
He was squeezing on those chokes.
Yeah, on that guillotine, I think he really gave his all into that guillotine.
I agree. All right, let's keep the action going here on the prelims. Again, don't forget, main card, UFC Fight Pass, 9 p.m. Eastern. You want to make sure you're signed in. You're signed up, logged in. You got your credit card info. You're all up to date. Bills paid. You know what I mean?
You paid your taxes.
You paid your taxes. Ooh, don't remind me.
Oh, man.
April 15th coming up. We might be filing an extension on it, Petrosky. We might be filing an extension.
I hear you there. We had a busy year, let's just say that.
We had a busy year. Busy year coming up for CFFC. We got 2 last prelims remaining here before we kick it to the main card. It's lightweights now. It's Florida's Tyler Keading who makes his professional debut against Pennsylvania's Dave Romano, who still seeks his first win as a pro. It is lightweight action here at the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. This is Dave Romano. 28 years old, made his debut back in September as a professional. He did suffer a loss to Brandon Murphy right here at the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino at CFFC 100. Wrapped up his amateur career last May, picked up a second-round submission win via Von Flue choke on the Florida regional scene, so showing a little bit of a submission abilities there. He did go 6-3 in an amateur career that dated from 2018 to 2021. 5 of those wins coming by submission, including a rear naked choke, an arm bar, an arm triangle choke, the aforementioned Von Flue choke as well, part of Billy Q MMA. You see him right there.
Yeah, those guys, I believe, are all out of that Matt Arroyo's gym in Tampa. Good history of successful fighters coming there. Obviously, Billy Q. So, obviously, good jiu-jitsu coming out of that gym. You know, like it said, 5 of the 6 wins were by submission. So I'm looking to see some jiu-jitsu and some good grappling out of Romano tonight.
I agree. And that Billy Q team, as you said, obviously he's doing a great job with his own fighting career in the UFC, but he's building a little squad here in Florida as well. It's been great to be able to see his team featured here in the CFFC cage on our second trip here to Florida. That is Dave Romano. Let's meet his opponent tonight. Tyler Keading making his pro debut. They call him the Killer Turtle. I don't know why they call him that, but that's what they call him.
I don't know many Killer Turtles, but this might be my first.
You're about to meet one. 23 years old, making his pro debut tonight, fighting in the CFFC cage for the first time. He was actually supposed to make his pro debut back in January. That belt fell through, so he's rescheduled a little bit, pushed it back a couple months. His last fight was actually in July. He did suffer a decision loss in that final amateur bout. Finished his amateur run at 4-3, but I think he did his amateur run the right. I mean, he started out as an amateur just 18 years old. I mean, when you're starting to get experience under your belt, that's what it's about, right? You take those lessons and then you just erase those. They go away, and you're 0-0 when you step in for your debut.
Absolutely, man. I wish I started out, getting that experience at 18, 19 years old.
Valuable
Goes
stuff.
a long way.
Explains his confidence there, as you see. Look at that intensity. We'll take a look at the tail of the tape for this lightweight matchup. Penultimate prelim of the night. Just 23 years old, as we said, Tyler Keading. He's the taller man. You can see that as he stepped in, but making his debut. Meanwhile, Romano still trying for that first win. Let's get the official introductions for our man, Dr. David Sarda.
Tonight, this bout is scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds in the CFFC lightweight division. This bout has been brought to us by La Adelita Tequila. Now, standing to my right, fighting out out of the blue corner, weighing in at 156 pounds, fighting for Billy Q MMA out of Broadheadsville, Pennsylvania, with a professional record of 0-1, David Flavor Dave Romano. Now standing across the cage, fighting out of the red corner, weighing in at 155.2 pounds, fighting for Death War out of Tampa, Florida, making his pro debut, Tyler Keading. A referee in charge of the action once the bell rings, Larry Folsom.
All right, Larry Folsom in there. Tyler Keading in the black and purple, Dave Romano in the blue and red.
Interesting, he's from Broadheadsville, Pennsylvania, up by Allentown.
About to say, I'm not going to pretend like I know what Broadheadsville is.
I never heard of it, but not far from Allentown. Spent some time up there in college. I wonder what brought him down to Tampa.
I mean, what's not to love about Tampa right here at the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino?
I might stay. I don't know.
I wouldn't blame you. Quick action here, by the way. Dave Romano pushing forward, but Tyler Keading, the taller fighter there, swinging back. Looks like now he's trying to set up and keep that range a little bit. Oh, nice right hand there, slipped through.
Nice one, too.
Oh, nice front kick to the body there, but Romano catches it. He's going to try to capitalize here. Tries the action defense. Hands clasped behind the back. Beautiful takedown.
You can tell Romano's got some power on him. Stocky dude.
And right into side control as well. Dominant work there from the takedown.
Yeah, Keading has an underhook on that far side. Now he's got to get to his left elbow to start building the base.
Interesting with Romano on his left hip there.
There you go with that locking the hands behind the back. It's almost like you're locking your opponent into the position that he wants to be in.
Completely agree. You know, like you said, if you're trying to, hold for a second maybe to readjust or something, fine, but you can't stay there very long.
Yeah, no.
You see right now Keading was able to work that right hand free at least.
Yeah,
now
so he gave up the underhook to try to build a frame.
Yeah, you saw him with that right arm pushing on the head, not there, so now he's dangerously close back to the clasped hands again.
Yeah. I'd like to see him work that frame. Oh, there's an elbow.
Oh, that was a sneaky little elbow in there. That was the kind that could really cut you open.
Romano's got to posture up here, start looking to improve. Start landing some strikes of his own. He's in a good position here. He's just got to be able to capitalize on it.
Yeah, agree, right? You're not racking up ride time here. You're trying to do damage, so.
Absolutely.
You see, once again, Keading trying to frame, trying to sneak those arms in and press away. And yeah.
Okay, there you go. Slides a knee through.
Oh, now he's going to try to turn to the net. Does he drop back?
Let's see if he looks guillotine or anaconda here.
Sword switch around. No, that allowed Keading to recover, though. Keading back to the feet now. See if he can make something happen. Halfway through the opening round. Oh, little shoulder strike inside there.
Yeah, that was best possible scenario. Best case scenario for Keading. He's able to get back to his feet. Pretty much just from Romano's kind of mistake there, circling to the front.
Now you see Romano with his back to the fence. Gonna have to defend a little bit after he'd been in a very dominant position earlier.
Keading landing some knees from the clinch himself.
Keading trying to fire in those little shoulder strikes as well.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Keading has to hold this body lock. I think to his advantage would be to break off here, land some strikes from the break, bring that left arm under the chin and get a frame to where he can strike from there.
Yeah, and instead that allowed Romano to switch positions. Right. I agree with you. I think that was an opportune time to back away, and now Romano was able to take advantage, but Keading reverses once again.
I think Romano, it's to Romano's advantage to look for the grappling. I think Keading wants to break off and strike.
Now, unfortunately for Keading, he's got his back to the cage again, so that's going to be a little more difficult, but the referee intervenes.
Interesting.
a little more
Second
than a minute
time
remaining.
this referee breaks it up.
Larry Folsom likes action.
Not really sure what what that decision is based on. Like why did he break it up there? Why did he stand them up from, I don't know. You can see some damage. Romano has done some damage to Keading's front calf. You can see that leg with some calf kicks.
Oh, yeah.
It seems like the calf kick is like, you know, it's been here for a little while, but has kind of taken over MMA.
It's definitely the rage now.
Guys are almost not even throwing to the quad anymore, to the thigh. They're just throwing those calf kicks.
You've seen how effective it can be, that's for sure. Oh, nice right hand there from Keading.
Keading turns him around.
But that speaks to your point earlier, Andre, about this is the spot where he needs to be.
Right.
Oh, and he landed there!
Lands it right hand.
Oh,
wow.
Big right hands. Can he get it done here? Romano trying to grab the wrist and slow things down to last until the end of the round. Final seconds ticking off.
Yeah. Wow.
Romano looked up at the ref.
Keading, Romano is, I don't
think he knows where he is.
I don't think he knows what's going on. He looked up at the ref like,
why am I here right now?
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, he looks confused.
I don't know if he thought there was a headbutt or he thought something got him, because he was clearly dropped. But yeah, it was weird. He looked up at the ref like, why am I here? What a big into the round for Tyler Keading, a round that wasn't really going his way.
I think he just asked.
He seized control of it.
Yeah, he just asked Billy Q what's going on.
Oh, wow. Take a look at some of these replays here. Walk us through it, Andre. Big takedown there.
Big takedown, big lift off the double leg. There's more calf kicks from Romano.
As you said, those marked up the legs pretty good there. And then there was the shot that dropped
It was a right hand that landed. It looked like it landed right behind the ear.
And you see as Keading's trying to punch away there, you'll see Romano kind of look over like, what's going on? What
he looked
happened?
at the ref like, are you going to stand me up? Or
we'll see if he's recovered in between rounds. That's going to be interesting to watch.
Romano, it would be incredibly to his advantage to come out and chase this takedown right away.
Yeah, I think
build some
Keading's
time to
feeling
recover. Keading needs to stick and move, stick and move.
Yeah, Romano was walking forward there, threw a kind of a weird right hand. He's kept trying to cover.
Nice.
Keading right now is feeling himself on the feet.
Yeah, Keading's starting to open up, getting comfortable.
And this is more like it for Keading, right? This is what you were kind of calling with early on, is stay at range, use the long shot. Jab.
Nice jab, nice jab. Yeah, Keading has been effective with those long arms of coming over the hard shell. Oh yeah, now
look at
Keading's
that.
calling him in.
Waving him in.
Yeah.
Say, come on, Flavor Dave.
Momentum is in Keading's favor right now.
100%. I think he stole the round there at the end of that opening round, one that hadn't really gone his way. Left hand, right comes through. Little stumble there from Romano. Shot from range.
Wow, and stop. That's a moral victory right there to stop that takedown.
And now if you're Keading, I mean, I think you want to disengage as quickly as possible,
Absolutely.
right?
Do not get sucked into this grappling match.
Yeah, Romano's going to be happy to hold on right here. See if he can make something happen inside, slow things down a little bit. If you're Keading, I think you got to be clearly focused on just backing away.
Yeah.
And to Romano's credit, he's making that very difficult.
Nice head position battle here. You know, Keading's corner, I don't really hear them yelling to break off, but
there's that calf kick again. Gotta be careful about that if you're Keading. That could change things.
So Romano, especially as he gets tired now, that his jab hand is starting to get lower. And that's so as Keading throws that right hand over the top, oh, nice takedown.
Now Keading on the back here, maybe he can do something. Now again, I think if you're not gonna get the neck, then you just need to disengage again.
Look, he got points. He got his takedown. That's huge for winning this round. But break off here. He got elbows right here. You don't need to hold this body lock. Strike. Land some strikes in on the break.
Yeah, I agree with you right now. I mean, maybe he's catching his breath for a moment, preparing for another run. But I agree, this is not the best position for Keading.
You go one hand, left hand in the throat like a lobster claw, and then the right hand is looking to land strikes.
And see, there you go. That allows Romano to try to hit a switch maybe on the single. That's why you didn't want to be here if you were Keading. Romano worked his way to top position, and that's where the mistake paid off.
Yeah, so props to Romano for taking advantage of that position, that situation. Now he's on top. I mean, look, if Romano does some ground and pound, he could easily win this round. Stays on top. What do we got left?
Yeah, we lost our clock there briefly, but I think we've got around 3 minutes. Right now, Keading working from his back.
Keading's #1 goal here should be get back to his feet.
He's got that left leg up on the shoulder. Is that enough to make him feel like maybe he's got something down there? I mean, surely not stacked up like that.
It's difficult, especially the position he is in the cage where his back's against the cage. He's got his head propped up. It's hard to make enough space to secure that triangle. Is at least what it looked like he was going for.
Yeah, I agree. Now Romano was able to clear that left leg. Now trying to slip past the right.
Yeah.
Good job of Keading regaining half guard there, but as you said, still has his head against the cage. And Romano trying to deliver some ground and pound and maybe leave something in the eyes of these judges.
You know, it's interesting because Keading, when Keading has his moments, he's done much more damage than Romano.
Right.
But it'll be interesting to see how they score that first round. Romano spent a large portion of that first round on top, you know, with the ground and pound. So we'll see how they score it.
1 minute left in round number 2. Looked like Keading was thinking about a Kimura on that left side. Instead, they're scrambling back up. Interesting position here. Knees inside, back away, 40 seconds. See if Keading can capitalize here late on the feet. This has been the most effective spot for him. Does land a right hand there. Oh, the uppercut came whizzing through. Oh, there's that calf kick.
And he switches to southpaw.
Final seconds ticking off the clock here. Keading trying to do something late. Momentum shifts, another calf kick there from Romano. Keading slips a little bit at the end. Does that impact what the judges think? I mean, honestly, the scores could be anywhere right now.
I think that you got to give that round to Keading, especially as, you know, he got back to his feet. But I mean, I've seen crazier scores from the judges for sure. I mean, it could be either way. You could have 2-0 for Keading. You could have, I don't know.
Crazy. Take a look at some of the action here. Andre, walk us through it here.
Yeah, Keading, I think, was getting off way more on the feet, throwing more and more volume. He got to take down. I mean, you got to give that round to Keading, honestly.
I think so, too.
Yeah, you have to. But Romano had some positional advantage there. Spent a large portion of it on top.
I mean, listen, you look at the damage on the head there. We saw briefly Romano. I mean, listen, I've got this thing 2-0 Keading, to be honest with you. But I'm saying it's like you can make a case.
Yeah, for sure. You can definitely make a case that Romano won that first round.
All right, third and final round. You see Keading right there saying, "Come on, bring it." Looks like both men are ready to do exactly that.
Break off. Break off. If I'm Keading here, I want to post, strike, and get away. I do not want to hold that body lock against the cage.
Working in the clinch there. Back to the center. Back to that calf kick again. That can change things.
Oh, nice.
Keading with a flurry of punches there.
He says, I got you.
Gotcha on that one.
Oh, nice straight. That was nice straight for switching to an opposite stance. He switches southpaw and he still threw a nice left hand.
Oh, the big uppercut landed.
Wow, nice strike from Romano. That's probably the biggest punch on his feet that he's landed the whole fight.
Blood immediately streaming down from the left eye right there.
Now we got a fist fight here.
Now we got a fist fight. He's going to look for that trip. Oh! The big takedown.
Look at the blood
time.
Yeah, it was perfect timing for Romano. Romano needed a takedown there.
A lot of damage around that left eye. Wow. Boy, and if you're Romano, that's got to be a target for you. Yeah, you see him trying to land some elbows in there. I got to think you're trying to just pound on that.
Yeah, this is good. You know, from half guard, you might not be able to do as much damage as side control, but there's less of a scramble. You know, it's much easier for a bottom guy to get out from side control than it is for him to get out from half guard. And so he can kill a lot of time here and win this round from half guard.
And if Keading were to clasp his hands at this moment, I would not criticize him one bit. He's taking some damage, man. He's trying to keep Romano away.
You might not, but I am going to criticize him.
Oh, man, my eyes
John,
looking
you're a
like
much nicer guy than me.
He's, to his credit, Keading is trying to get up here. He's on the right hip, trying to work to his feet, create a scramble.
Nice. Good ground and pound from half guard.
Romano pounding away. And big shot.
Yeah.
Left hand's coming in. Is that it? Wow.
Wow.
Keading's going to be frustrated because he's got to feel like he was blocking. You know he's frustrated, but Romano saw the opening.
I love that. Man, overcame some adversity. Could have been down 2 rounds to 0. Saw a moment of weakness, saw some blood in the water, and capitalized. Late in the fight when he's tired. I love that, man.
Wow. Listen, I got to think the damage that was around that eye probably factored into why the referee may have been a little quick on the stoppage there, because Keading was, to his credit, blocking a lot of those, but
yeah,
as you said, Romano had seized momentum at that point.
Yeah.
And was pounding away.
Wow.
He's like, yeah, there was never any doubt. I knew I had that.
I don't know. He looked like he was in some trouble there for a little while.
Yeah, he definitely was.
But I mean, props to him, man. He overcame some adversity. That's what I want to see. Beautiful uppercut.
Oh, man. Then this little trip takedown to get him in the dominant position. That blood was a big target, and then pounding away. And, I mean, listen, the left arm is in, but I guess if you're the referee, you're seeing that the eye, he's not looking at the opponent, he's looking down at the canvas, and ooh, extracurricular activity after that.
Not mad at that.
Hey, after a battle like that, you get to show some emotion, don't you?
Yeah.
Excellent work there. Amazing win for Dave Romano. Let's take it up to our man, Dr. David Sarn, to get the time of the stop.
Yeah, I'd say it was a bit early on the stoppage, but in the ref's defense, you know, he was covering. He
stopped this fight at 2 minutes
wasn't really
and 25 seconds in the 3rd round. Winner by TKO due to excessive strikes. Out of the blue corner, Dave Romano.
So Dave Romano, the big victory. I'll say this, the emotions show it, you get it. I'll say this, I want to see Tyler Keading again. I mean, that was a heck of a professional debut.
Absolutely.
As you were touching on it, maybe a little quick on the stoppage there, but I understand the damage was there. He wasn't exactly, you know, looking at the attacks that were coming at him maybe, so a big win there.
I believe
for
that's
Dave Romano.
Matt Arroyo in the corner.
Showing a lot of character there. Just an absolutely phenomenal win here. Had to battle through some adversity to do it, and did it in spectacular fashion. And it looks like we've got a headset on Dave Romano right now, who was victorious. That is Dave. Absolutely amazing fight. I mean, back and forth. You were tested. Talk to me right now about the emotions after a victory like that.
Hey, thank you, gentlemen. Hey, listen, I only get fresher as the rounds go. You know, so I knew I had a hard 2nd round. I came in the 3rd round feeling great, feeling right. I needed a warm up. You know, I apologize for what I did afterwards. I wasn't sportsmanlike. You know, he was talking a little shit to me in the cage, and I let my emotions get the best of me. I apologize.
Hey, well, listen, we sign off on that. That was just an absolute backboard scrap. So talk to me. I mean, as we said, this was not an easy fight for you. You had to battle through some adversity along the way. It looked like maybe very hurt at the end of round 1. So just talk to me about how you were feeling as this fight was unfolding and really battling through some damage.
Yeah, you know, Tyler's a scrapper, man. I came in here with all the respect for him, you know. He's a tough kid. I knew that coming in. I knew he was going to be well-rounded. He caught me in the 2nd. I didn't know what he got me with. I think it was a right hand. And I came back to the cage, to my corner, and Billy was like, hey, you know, you got caught, but recollect. Let's get back out there. And I never lost belief in myself. I knew I could win this fight no matter what. So here I am, and you guys are going to see me for a long time.
I love it. I look forward to it. Listen, the uppercut, obviously, vicious damage there in the 3rd round.
Yeah,
was that something that you guys saw coming in, or you saw on the fly?
You know, me and my brother, we have a little garage gym that we work out of when we're not at our regular gym, and we work that stuff all the time, every day. So, you know, I saw the uppercut, and I just decided to throw it, and I have a mean uppercut on me. So it was there, and I took it.
Unbelievable. And he was clearly hurt. Did you know? I mean, it looked like you kind of went for it at that point and said, I'm just rattling off left hands. Did you just say, hey, we're going to stop it here?
Yeah, I knew I got his number, and I went for the kill. That's what I'm here for.
Taking a look at some of the replays of your work, it's phenomenal to say the least, man. Great stuff. So listen, what do you do now? I mean, after a battle like that, are you trying to book something quickly? You need some time off? What's the plan moving forward?
Yeah, I have a CJJ match booked with Finishers MMA in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. And then after that, I'm going to be looking to come back hopefully with the CFFC. If you guys have me in May, I think there's a New Jersey or Philadelphia card. I'd love to be on that.
Well, listen, I don't get to sign the contract, but if it's up to me, you're coming back, Dave Romano. That was fantastic, man. I look forward to it. Congratulations on the victory. We look forward to seeing more of you, Dave.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you.
Great work, man. Absolute battle there, Andre. I mean, to get tested like that, to be able to push through it, and to get a finish of that caliber, I mean, what more can you ask for?
Yeah, I love what he had to say. He said, I only get fresher as the rounds go on. Later in the rounds, I'm only getting fresher.
Sounds familiar.
I love it. I love it. You know, it's not who's the strongest, it's who's the strongest for the longest.
Well, you got it done in the end. Fantastic fight. We still got one more prelim to come for you before we go to UFC Fight Pass at 9 p.m. in Eastern. In the meantime, let's check out a couple of CFFC legends.
I've been waiting for the chance to prove myself.
Paul Felder, one of the fastest rising stars in the CFFC. I think he's beyond a 6-0 record.
And the new CFFC lightweight champion.
Thank you guys. I'm going to keep this as long as I need to until I get the call upstairs, and that's coming soon.
Oh, goodness! Oh, my mercy! You've got to be kidding me! Ring, ring, ring. Hello, pick up. UFC anyone?
Put it this way. I'm glad I got in when I got in, you know what I mean? Because the guys, the new breed of MMA fighters that are coming through CFFC, these guys are absolutely, they're killers. And I've been at the UFC for almost 10 fights now, almost 3 full years next month. These guys give it to me and beyond every single time we train. So you're gonna see these kids make some noise very soon in the UFC.
Many regional promotions left. There's been a contraction or at least a change in the marketplace, but there have been a few coast to coast that have endured. Really, it's hard to look beyond Cage Fury Fighting Championships. The important part about regional MMA is you have to deliver a local product, you have to make it entertaining, and if you really want to stand out, you have to do 2 things. Number 1, you got to endure, and they've done that. And number 2, you have to show that when guys come to your show and they move on, it's because you had the elite. This is the proving grounds. This is the graduating place. They've had so many come through CFFC who have gone on to do amazing things. If you want to test your talent and you want to prove you can be among the best in the future, you got to start there.
Some amazing names that have made their way through the CFFC cage. There's more here tonight. CFFC 106 trying to add their name to that list of legends as we take a look at the main card that is upcoming on UFC Fight Pass, 9 p.m. Eastern. You see the main event there. The champ, Blake Smith, is going to put it on against the undefeated prospect, Paris artist, Eric Alaquin, and Hugh Pulley are going to tee off for the vacant welterweight title. Jonathan Piersma seems to be a real prospect against a tough kid in Charles Radke as well. We're going to kick the whole thing off with Zulkarnayan, Kemp Trebekov, and Dean Hancock. That's not listed there. That'll be our first fight of the night on the main card. Again, 9 p.m. Eastern, UFC Fight Pass. Make sure you're all programmed in, dialed in, signed up, and ready to go. We've still got our final prelim to go, our featured action here in the welterweight division at Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino here in Tampa, Florida. Playing host to CFFC once again. Proud to be back here at this wonderful facility. And let's keep the action going. is our final preliminary bout of the night, and it features a pair of Floridian welterweight prospects with Solomon Maldonado taking on Jesus Hernandez. Our final prelim before we kick it on over to UFC Fight Pass at 9 p.m. Eastern for our 5-fight main card over there, including 2 title fights, a couple of championship matchups. Crowd here at Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino having a great time. This is a top-notch facility. Our second time out here. Came here for CFFC 100, that historic night. We had a great night then. It's shaping up to be a great night so far at CFFC 106. We'll put the rest of these fights in the books. Maybe go grab a cocktail or 2. Hit the tables. Before we do that, a little teaser for Dana White's Contender Series. Looking forward to the return of that later this year. So many great names from the CFFC did take part in Dana White's Contender Series this season, including, of course, Johan Lioness. You saw him in that package there, the former welterweight champion. He signed with the UFC, and it's his vacant belt that is on the line tonight in our co-main event. Listen, I know you thought CFFC was, the only MMA happening this weekend, because I get that. You're a Cage Fury Fighting Championships fan. You say, that has to be the only show happening of any note whatsoever. And I would agree with you to some degree, but the UFC is actually in London as well on Saturday for the first time in 3 years. The O2 Arena is playing host to the UFC Octagon. It is sold out over there. The English fans are going crazy. They're happy to have the UFC back. And it may not be the CFFC, but it's a pretty big deal over there. Take a look at what's on tap over in London, England. So great to see the UFC back in London. Such a passionate crowd. It's been 3 years since they've been able to play host to it. Andre, a great main event there with Tom Aspinall and Alexander Volkov. Volkov, of course, the big striker, but Aspinall at 6'5" is not that much smaller than Alexander Volkov, and he's got that impressive grappling game. It's kind of interesting, right? Volkov's the guy that's been around for a long time, but I feel like this really could be a coming out party for Tom Aspinall.
Yeah, that's a great matchup in the heavyweight division. And for me, I'm just happy to see the world opening back up and getting to see the UFC kind of, venture outside of the typical Vegas fights. It's good to see, the UFC traveling again. Yeah,
the UFC Apex has been a godsend for the promotion, but it's not the same as 16,000 people filling an arena. So we're looking forward to that. Of course, the UFC goes to Columbus, Ohio the following week. So, as you said, great to see the UFC traveling in. Other big names. Boy, how about that Arnold Allen-Dan Hooker fight? Seeing Dan Hooker go back down to featherweight, I'm intrigued by that. I think it's going to be all-action fight. I guess what I want to see is how he looks on the scales.
Yeah, especially that heavyweight Aspinall and Volkov. And for Columbus, you got Chris Dawkins and Curtis Blades. I'd love to see the winner of that fight the winner of Aspinall and Volkov.
Boy, it would kind of line up, wouldn't it? I mean, you got to be on that same. That's part of it, right? Part of it's timing. Yes, it's rankings, but it's about timing as well. So we'll see what happens there. Just should shout out real quick. Paddy Pimblett is on that card in London as well. We'll see if he can deliver. So a lot of things on tap for Saturday in London. But right now, of course, it's CFFC. The main card coming up on UFC Fight Pass at 9 p.m. Eastern. We've got our final prelim up next. Ladies and gentlemen, that's how you feel. It took us a while to get there, but we're here. Let's get to our final prelim of the night. Jesus Hernandez, Solomon Maldonado in this welterweight matchup. It's our final prelim of the night before we head on over to UFC Fight Pass. This is Jesus Hernandez, 34 years old, made his debut back in January. Fought twice in one night in his first night as a professional. He won his first fight and then he lost in the finals of what was a 4-man tournament here in Florida. So 1-1, 2 fights in one night, and that was just 2 months ago. He also had a 4-1 record as an amateur. All 5 of those fights took place in 2021. So Jesus Hernandez is not messing around. Maybe a little bit later start than most in his career at 34, but got busy quick, man. Ran through his amateur career in a year, did a 4-man tournament in his debut, and now he's here making his CFFC debut as well.
Yeah, I love seeing that, those tournaments, the Grand Prix, and you don't see them as often these days, but I love seeing guys fight multiple times in a short period. You get to see what they're made of.
It is fun. I mean, listen, I wouldn't want to see it at every event or every night, but to do them every now and then is kind of a special event because you don't always get the best result, right? You know what I mean? If somebody gets damaged in the first fight, maybe they're the better fighter, but they don't do as good in the second fight. So you end up with all those kind of X factors. But to do them every now and then, it's kind of fun. It brings, brings a little excitement to it.
Yeah, I love that X factor. It really comes down to see, everyone's banged up, everyone's hurting, and you get to see who wants it more. But wow, look at the body on Hernandez. Top, he's definitely tall.
As a welterweight, my goodness, that's a frame.
Got some skinny legs on him, but he's a big body, that's for sure.
And now Solomon Maldonado makes his way to the cage as well.
Yeah, he has an interesting layoff here. He is 1-0 as a pro with his win coming by disqualification, and that was in 2018.
Crazy, right?
Not sure what happened there.
Yeah, to take that much time away. But here he is. And he's been in the game for a long time. You mentioned, so interesting, right? 7-2-1 as an amateur. That was from 2009 to 2014.
Zephyr Hills, Florida.
Then he waits 4 years to go pro. And then now we're talking about another 3.5 years after that. So, but here he is in the featured bout here of our prelims at CFFC 106. He's obviously got some supporters in the crowd. And it's our final preliminary bout of the night before we take it to Fight Pass. Let's take a look at the tail of the tape where I believe we will see a slight difference in the height of these two gentlemen. just eyeballing it here. Yeah, about a 6-inch difference in height there. You see the perfect record for Solomon Maldonado, both in their early 30s. Let's take it to Dr. David Sarnar for the official introductions.
Tonight, this bout is scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds in the CFFC Welterweight division. This bout has been brought to us by Bartow Ford. Now, standing to my right, fighting out of the blue corner, weighing in at 169.6 pounds, fighting for top brother out of Dade City, Florida, with a professional record of 1-1, Jesus Chuy Loco Hernandez. Now, standing across the cage, fighting out of the red corner, weighing in at 170.2 pounds, fighting for Gracie Brandon out of Zephyr Hills, Florida, with a professional record of 1 win and no losses, Solomon Maldonado. Referee in charge of the action, Andrew Dr. Knuckle Up Glenn.
Dr. Knuckle Up. I thought Chuy Loco had the best nickname. I was wrong.
Yeah.
Chuy Loco, not even the best nickname in the cage right now.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Do the doctors always have fight names, or what's going on here? Much different body types here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Opposite stance.
Hernandez in those maroon trunks, Maldonado in the black, and you can imagine Hernandez is going to keep range, stay away where he can basically just pop shot from the outside. Meanwhile, if you're Maldonado, man, you've got to find a way to get past that reach because this is significant to say the least.
You want to move your head and bob and weave and get in on the inside.
Hernandez just missed on Superman there. Inside leg kick there. You can see he's definitely want to stay at range and use that reach, but you got to stay busy. And this is exactly what you have to do, right? If you're the shorter man, you got to drive through and do exactly what Maldonado just did.
Yeah.
May not have been the prettiest, but it was effective.
You got that right.
Controlling the neck there. Let's see if maybe a Von Flue choke attempt may be coming. No.
Yeah, so I like how he went to half guard here. A little bit less of a scramble from half guard than you're going to get from side control.
It looks like he's trying to put some pressure on that neck. tough angle there. Is he getting a little squeeze there? See? Oh, Maldonado pops it free there.
Yeah, it's tough to finish. It's very rare you're going to see someone finish a guillotine from half guard.
Yeah, difficult to do. Looked like he was trying to sell out on it, but Maldonado pops his head free and is back on top now after a bit of trouble there, as you said. Hernandez underneath in half guard, where the extensive reach advantage is nullified. He's trying to sweep out to the top there, does at least get back to his feet. Maldonado wisely stays inside. Hernandez trying to grab that guillotine. Let it go again.
You know, that's the problem with attacking that guillotine is if you don't get it, you're giving up your hips. And that takedown usually making it easy for the guy to finish the takedown.
Hernandez now working from his back, open guard, trying to control the wrists underneath, maybe try to sneak up a submission, something here. We'll see. Meanwhile, Maldonado just trying to kind of stay heavy. So trying to force that left arm over from underneath. Couldn't quite get it there. And the short right hand underneath. Big shots there from the top. Maldonado's had to deal with some submission attempts. Those are some decent hammer fists. Dr. Knuckle Up taking a look.
Yeah, I think Maldonado could pass the half guard or even side control from here, but he's content with just staying in Hernandez's guard and just ground and pounding. He's obviously winning from this position.
Yeah, you might as well. I mean, if you're not facing any threats, just stay right there. Posture up, land a couple little short punches and elbows. Hernandez doing a good job of defending, but he needs to do a better job of getting off his back.
Yeah.
He's trying to set up the arm triangle from underneath there. Wasn't quite there. Listen, I think Hernandez feels safe where he is, but he's allowing himself to spend a lot of time on his back. And that does not look good for the judges.
Yeah, I mean, you're not winning the round. Even if, you know, you can land a little bit of ground and pound here, you're not winning the round from your back.
I agree. Hernandez just a little bit too complacent here in this position for my liking. I'd like to see him do something. Like I said, I don't think he feels a lot of threat from the punches on top. But again, it's a lot of time underneath. Now he's landing some elbows. And
that ref's getting kind of close, you know, thinking he's maybe going to stand them up.
He does reset him.
Typical. Nah, I mean, I can't entirely disagree on that.
Ooh, nice flying knee there on the restart. The left hand as well. Here we go. Oh, he is loading up. Oh, the right hand hurt him there. Right hand hurt him. Now he's going to try. Let's see if he drops his guillotine here in the final seconds here. He's got the squeeze on him. Can he get the squeeze? Final seconds ticking off the clock, and that's it. Wow.
Wait, what happened?
I think he got the tap there on the right hand, the side that we didn't see.
Wow.
I didn't see the tap either, but with the referee going in, I think he must have tapped. Unless he went out briefly, but it seemed like he was okay.
You know, I think he was rocked a little bit there.
Yeah, he definitely was hurt.
He wasn't moving, you know, you could tell he was in a bad position, but he wasn't looking to improve.
Speaking with Maldonado on the stool there, but it's Hernandez who gets to celebrate. Big win for him. Again, last time out, fought twice in one night. Tonight, he doesn't have to come back and do it again. He can just celebrate the victory.
Wow, and you know, he went for that guillotine 3 times, and on the 3rd time, he was able to finish it without going to his back. Finished it from the standing position.
But he's enjoying the moment. It is interesting.
Hernandez.
You know, you fight in a 4-man tournament in your debut. You pick up your debut win. You don't really get to celebrate it, right? Because you got to think, okay, now I got to go to the locker room. I got to get ready for fight number 2. Now he gets to really soak it in as we take a look at some of the action here, Andre.
Yeah, it looked like a right hook landed. No, that's the first round.
There he is.
Goes for the guillotine. Maldonado does a great job of beating the legs.
It was that leaping knee that just missed, but here's the end here. He's teed off with the left hand, and then he caught him again with the right on the temple.
Maldonado dives in on a single leg. And this time, it was interesting. This time he didn't go to his back. He tried to stay standing, and he finished it standing. And you can see Maldonado's showing no real urgency to improve.
No, stuck there.
Very
and I
nice
think eventually
finish.
had to, and you see the emotions there. Big, big win for Jesus Hernandez in front of a supportive crowd. And dealt with a little bit of adversity. Got it done. Let's take it up to our man, Dr. David Sarnoff.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout was stopped at 4 minutes and 55 seconds in the first round. Winner by submission by way of the guillotine choke. Out of the blue corner, Jesus Chewy Loco Hernandez.
Jesus Hernandez, the winner by submission, got it done with 5 seconds left in the opening round. We're going to get a headset on Jesus Hernandez and ask him about this very impressive victory. The submission with just 5 seconds left in the opening round. We've got Jesus now. Jesus, emotional moments for you, to say the least. You got some supporters in the crowd. Talk to me about the feeling of this victory for you.
Before I get started with that, I just want to give the glory to God, because without God, I wouldn't be here. So he's number one first, and hey, thank you, Cage Fury, baby, for letting me show my skills. Thank you.
Well said, Jesus. Obviously, you got the submission there with just 5 seconds left in the end of the first round. We saw the celebration immediately, the emotion. What was going through your head at that moment? A big, big victory here for you in front of us, and a very supportive crowd.
Well, when I stunned him, I know I did some damage. So he's a grappler, he's a wrestler. So I knew automatically he's going for my leg. So as soon as I did that, I just got down and put a guillotine on him. And the guillotine, with his biceps, they're not gonna go nowhere. So I just praise God that he went for it, and like always, I put him in the guillotine and trying to put him to sleep, call it early night, get back to my kids.
I love it.
So, but yeah, man, I got a big crowd here, my whole family from Day City, you know, you hear 'em, you know, and I'm blessed to have such great coaches. Coach Frank, Coach Ingrid, Coach Lois, that Top Brother, and all my Top Brother family that supports me. Every teammate in there that pushes me every day. And I'm giving them thanks, because without them, I wouldn't be here, because, hey, we put it work in that Top Brother.
Yeah,
so,
no doubt. Hey, listen, I was going to ask you, I mean, obviously a great performance. You seem in control. You said he's a wrestler. You did have to spend a lot of time on your back. You looked very calm there, but were you expecting to have to work off your back that much in this fight?
Well, I got put in a position like that once before, and I knew he was going to try to take me to the ground, but once he got me there, I stayed calm. I already know my coaches train me all the time. They stay calm on the ground and just work, defend a little bit, make him work, let him get tired, you know, and we worked a lot on that position just in case that were to happen, and it did happen. And I just overcame it, and once I got back on top, then my arms got back to me, and I just hit him with a couple of good ones, and I seen him drop. So after that, I just kept on going forward, and here I am.
Congratulations, man. Well, listen, it's got to be a relief. You don't have to fight again tonight. You're not in a 4-man tournament tonight. I mean, you get to go celebrate this. So listen, you've stayed busy since you started your career. Where do you go from here? I mean, is this a quick turnaround, some time away to spend with the kids? What's the next move for you?
Well, God has a plan for me, and I'm going to keep on going. And my wife and my kids, my mother, my grandmother, my brothers, my whole family, they all support me. You know, if I need help with the kids, they're always there, and it's always a blessing. So for me, train and go to my next fight. And Cage Fury, hey, UFC, y'all trying to sign me again? Y'all let me know. Y'all see the crowd I bring. You know, where's my Day City family at? You see that? You know, so Cage Fury, hit me up later on. Let me know.
I love it. Jesus Hernandez, congratulations. Thank you. Great performance, and hopefully we'll see you back here in the CFFC cage in the very near future.
Thank you so much. Hey, you have a blessing. Thank you.
Awesome. Great performance there. I said dealt with a little bit of adversity, but was calm on his back, and then tagged him on the feet, got that guillotine choke. And interesting, stayed upright, just got the squeeze on there, didn't drop to his back, and we talked about that a little bit earlier in the night, Andre. Sometimes that guillotine choke is better if you don't go to your back, stay in that top position, and paid off for Jesus Hernandez.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, John, and I like how he made that adjustment. You know, he saw that it failed the first 2 times, and he said, you know, this time I'm going to try to finish it from my feet. I like that, you know. It's a good, I like how he asked for another contract for the CFFC. You know, him and Itzo, both 70-pounders, got the victories today. I'm not saying I'm a matchmaker here, but
I like it. That'd be a little clash of styles there. You know, a long frame there against the grappler. All right, listen, we still got the main card to come at the top of the hour. UFC Fight Pass, 9 p.m. Eastern. We've got 5 fights for you over there, including a pair of championship matchups. We've got the champ, Blake Smith, who won his title in this very building, putting it on the line against the undefeated contender in Paris Artist. You got the co-main event. Again, that's Johan Lioness's welterweight belt. He signed to the UFC. Now Hugh Pulley and Eric Alaquin will be matching off for that vacant 170-pound title. Charles Racky, Jonathan Pierresma, a couple of studs there. And, of course, Big Zulk is in the opening bout as well against Dean Hancock. He's looking to rebound after losing the CFFC lightweight title to Blake Smith in this building back at CFFC 100. He's looking to kind of start the charge up the ranks again here at CFFC 106. That'll be at the top of the hour, so do yourself a favor, go grab a couple frosty beverages, get you a